Spoonspins. Welcome to the Spoonie channel where we are unfiltered, unafraid, and pain recognizes pain. I woke up this morning and I kind of feel empowered, and I don't know if it has something to do with the fact that I've been really sleepy, which is a little frightening in itself concerning the fact that Thursday I had a grand mal seizure. This is what pretty much we're here for. But I have been getting sleep, and trust me, it's been like a freaking decade since I've gotten 8 hours of sleep, for real. So I don't know if I feel just a little bit more rejuvenated, a little bit more prepared to talk about my seizure, my neurological event, and my most recent seizure, which was on Thursday. There's not a lot to preface it. I just kind of want to go into it. And once again, these aren't things that were ever on my radar. Like, you get the pamphlets and you go online and you try to read as much as you possibly can about the millions of things that you're going through. But there are things that happen that there aren't online, or you didn't account for. Even your doctors didn't account for. I have an amazing neurologist, but he didn't see this coming because you really couldn't. So, let's just hop right into it. I'm stalling. My first seizure with accompanying neurological event, essentially a stroke. What happened was, I got home from work about an hour before my husband did, and usually when I got home from work, the first thing my ass did was get out of my clothes, into my pajamas, and climb into bed. Like, don't get in my way, that's where I'm going. And I did. I was laying down. I remember my husband coming home. I remember getting up, and I went over to him and I'm like, "Hey babe, how are you?" And he was just staring at me. I'm like, "Well, what?" He's like, did you get into an accident on the way home?" And I'm thinking, what the fuck are you talking about, get into an accident? Don't you think I'd let you know if I got into an accident? And he just kept looking at me, and then he didn't say a word. He just turned around and went outside. And I found out later it was because he went outside to look at my car. He was afraid that my pain brain, and we all have it, we all know what it is. I mean, you literally lose function of your brain. You can't think, you can't remember, you can't focus. It's for real. He thought maybe I got into an accident and didn't tell him. So that goes to tell you what my face looked like. It wasn't, it wasn't terrible, but when he came back in, I'm still in a state of confusion. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he grabbed me by my shoulders, and he walked me into the bathroom, and I got a good look at my face. And there was scratches all down this side of my face. You probably can't see it. I have makeup on. But my nail actually took a chunk out of my upper lip. And then when all of a sudden, my tongue started to hurt so badly. And when I opened my tongue up, and I'll throw pictures up here, wherever, so you can see them, because we definitely took pictures. You could see the impression of my tongue. I bit the middle of my tongue, and I didn't have feeling in that tongue for a week. A week, I kid you not. Then, instant, like a freight train, my calves started cramping up. My forearms started to hurt. Like, I couldn't, when you put your hands on your hips, I couldn't turn my hands over like this to put my hands on my hips because the pressure on my forearms hurt so badly. And then my abdomen and my back, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. This was July 3rd of 2018, so the day before the 4th of July. It was terrible thinking. Terrible thinking, but we're like, all right, it's, going into the holidays, we're just let this go for today. The 4th of July, is going to happen, and then on the 5th, I'll call my neurologist, because I think the 4th of July was a Tuesday or a Wednesday. So we let it go. We let it go over 48 hours, and I called my neurologist, and he's like, you need to come here now. Now. I went in, They did EEGs. I had an MRI done. The MRI was now a week later. I had all my tests done, but, you know, unfortunately when you wait that long after a major neurological event, the chances of them seeing things are small. And when it comes to ankylosing spondylitis and strokes, there's a lot of conflicting information. And they are still researching the effects of spinal inflammation on your brain. They don't know, you know, and my neurologist will 100% tell you. Like, here you go. I'm the kind of person that if you ask me a question and I don't know the answer, I'm not going to make shit up. That doesn't help anybody. What, so I look smart? I don't look smart when you find out that I gave you the wrong answer. In my mind, if you ask me a question and I don't know the answer, I will say, I don't know, but I will find out for you. My neurologist is the same way. He says, we don't know. We are still exploring the effects of spinal inflammation on the brain. Now, my spinal inflammation is everywhere. It is everywhere. Top to bottom, C to S, you know, it's bad. It's bad. We got through that event with pretty much the understanding that we don't know. Like, I'm sorry, we don't know. I had long-lasting effects. I still have effects from it. I have memory difficulties. I have difficulties getting what I am thinking from my brain out my mouth. It's very hard for me because I love words. I like to be a wordsmith. I like to use polysyllabic words when, you know, a one-syllable word will do the trick. I enjoy that. I like learning. And to feel like you're reduced to somebody who stutters and stammers, it's a heartbreaking thing. And it broke me. It still breaks me. You know, sometimes my husband forgets. And I'll be talking and I'll get kind of caught in a loop. And he'll be like, what? And he doesn't remember, you know, that this is what's going on in my head. And then I get really upset and I get really emotional. And then he feels just so horrible. And I feel terrible for him. But I'm like, I'm trying to tell you, bro, you need to hang on for a hot second. I will get there. Just have some patience. And like I said, he feels just absolutely awful when it happens. But it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing to know when they're going to, not know when they're going to happen, to not know what's going to happen when they do, to think that this time it happened when I was laying down, but what's going to happen if I'm cooking dinner or if I'm walking across my tile floor. These are terrible things that you start thinking of the first time you have your attack. And now we'll go into my one from last Thursday. Alright, so now we're talking about last Thursday. I don't work. I'm on disability. I am waiting for Social Security. It is a 15-month waiting period right now. And it took me a long time. I refused to go on disability for a very long time. But that last attack, not Thursday's, but the attack July 3rd, 2018, was the final straw where my doctor said, no, you can't do this anymore. So I don't work, my husband does. I'm home all day. I do a lot of bouncing between the chair and the bed and trying to find comfortable places throughout the day. Once again, I was on the bed, but what happened was my husband got home at noon. We had lunch, we watched Deadwood, we love us some Deadwood. And, you know, we did all of this, and then I told my husband, if you're going to go out and work on your car, I'm going to run in and edit the video that I had done on my diagnosis. I haven't put it out yet because I haven't been able to open that file yet. I'm not there yet. So I went in and I started editing it, and I was exporting it to my computer, and I laid down and I was watching TV. Now what I'm telling you, I have glimpses. It's almost like being in a dream, and I catch snatches of things that I see, but nothing is a cohesive picture. What I'm telling you are these snatches of what I remember from here on out and my husband putting it together. I came out of the bedroom, and my husband had come back in, and he was sitting on the table. And I said, "Oh, wow, you're home from work early." And he looked at me, and he's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "You're home from work early. It's not 5 o'clock yet." It's like, "I've been home. We had lunch. We watched a show." I was like, "No, that was yesterday." He's like, "Babe, it was just 2 hours ago. What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "It was yesterday. Are you crazy?" And I am emphatic. I'm like, "You are wrong. I don't understand how you lost a whole 24 hours, but dude, you are wrong." And at that moment, it popped into his head. I think he realized we'd been through this before, and he got up out of his chair and he walked over and he looked at my face. And once again, I had scratches all down the side of my face. I guess, I lay like this, and when my body seizes, I scratch my face. Not only was my face scratched, whew, I didn't bite down on my whole tongue, but baby, I bit down hard on both sides of my tongue, and I will throw up pictures. Both sides of my tongue. I bit a chunk off of this side, and this, for days, my tongue felt like a pile of hamburger in my mouth. That's the only way to describe it. I know it's a disgusting image. It really was, and it was so swollen. If you've ever had your tongue pierced, I didn't, but my husband did. Like, the next day it swells up and it almost scallops because it just pushes against your teeth and you see the indent of your teeth. I had that, but then it was just purple and bloody. It was so gross. And we realized once again it happened. He whipped out his camera this time. And see, the last time when he showed me my face, I instantly felt the pain. My brain and, my nerves started working together. When he showed me this time, it still didn't connect. He laid me down on the bed. He asked me what year it was. Nope, I had no idea. He asked me a bunch of questions that I had no idea. It took me a very, very long time to come out of this one. And once again, when I did, my arms, my legs, my abdomen, everything hurts. Everything hurts so badly. And when you already have chronic pain in all those places and something like this happens, you're like, really? Really? Because there wasn't enough going on in here. Really? Because living at a pain of like 357 is not enough. And I say that, and look, I'm going to get real with you for a second. And you can like it or not like it, but the way that I get through this is every night, no matter what, I pray to God and I ask Him for pain. I ask Him for the pain of the children who can't bear it, of the elderly who can't bear it, of people who aren't as strong as I am. And I ask for it because I feel like if I give a purpose to my pain, then I don't feel like it's happening to me for no reason. I can let go of that bitterness. That's what works for me. God and I have an understanding. And it doesn't have to work for you. You can be bitter. It's hard. But that's how I get through it. I know we got off topic a little bit, but this is how I'm functioning through these terrible things going on. And right now, where we are is we're going into a 48-hour EEG. I'm waiting for a separate neurology place to call me back. With my date and time, I get to get the electrodes glued to my head and wear a cone head around for 2 days and see if, they get some readings as I move throughout the day. On a long-term plan, right now we're waiting to get me into either the University of Tampa or the University of Miami to get a case study, because right now all my doctors are going, this sucks. And we're getting to the end of how we can help you. You need literal professional help. You need medical education facilities. You need people who are looking at your symptoms and trying to figure out what can help you. It's a long process, and to be quite honest with you, I'm a little scared to know if my insurance will pay for it or not. I haven't looked. I haven't looked. I'm too scared to look. So right now, I put makeup on. I put this full beat on so I wouldn't cry. And I did really fucking good. But, yeah, I haven't looked to see if insurance is going to pay for it. Because if insurance doesn't pay for it, I don't know what we're going to do. And I'm not complaining because there are people out there who don't have health insurance. There are people out there who are suffering and don't have medication to help them. And now I'm going to really get emotional. But I know there are people out there who even have doctors who won't give them the medication that they need to feel comfortable and give them a quality of life. Yeah. Yeah, it's a problem. So, I just felt in a good place. I felt in a place where I wanted to let it out, let you know what's going on, and let you know that if you're feeling or seeing any of these symptoms, please, please contact your neurologist. Please go to the emergency room. Get it taken care of. And thank you for listening to me. Thank you for hanging out with me. Pain recognizes pain, my friends. And I see you. I love you guys.